Yeah, so after all these long ass cardio workouts, I'm skinny, but I'm still out of shape. They had us running up a fucking ramp, and when you're like, I'm just out of breath and everything. But the guy I was facing, I really wanted to beat him in the race. It was this dude named Josh, and so
Fuck
I was
gosh.
just out of breath, and I went to go, and I was just way out of it, and then I went to run up this ramp, and then I just fell like immediately. Like there was no running, like I just fell forward. That was the motion, and then I like went to land like this, but for whatever reason, my body fell more so on this side, and it crushed like my whole like wrist underneath me. And then yeah, I tried to swing after, and like I hit the bat hit the ball, and like nerves through my whole body went fucking ballistic. I was like, yeah, I'm done. It's over.
Co-
My career is
Yo,
done.
coach was like, shake it off. It's nothing, man.
Bro,
Come
he
on.
said, yeah, he said,
Get back
push,
in the
he said,
fucking
push against
box.
my abdomen.
Just
I push against his abdomen.
Throw
and
some
my
dirt
hand is
on
all
it.
like this, bro. All fucking pushing and shit. And I'm like, I can't do it. He's like, get in there, take a swing. I took a
A
swing.
big
and
old
I
pussy.
really did that. I was like, ow, fuck.
Yo, I found this video where fucking Thomas ended racism and he beat the fuck out of co captain.
Oh, get him, Thomas! Get him, Thomas! Put him
Oh,
in
you
his
do
place!
that
I got all the videos. It's just they're like in my archive.
Bro, he got me the very first time, bro. He was like, bro, he kept like getting up and not forward.
Look at him ending racism. You hear me laughing?
I had to do it.
Welcome, everybody, to the Build Different podcast. This is episode 15. Yes, 1-5 of High and Inside. And we are high and inside. I am with my co-host, Not So White Chris, Wolfie, and your favorite Uber driver, Poppy Devante, and me, of course, as always, is that a taco?
You thought I was playing?
He's like, Buenos dias.
Savage. And then me, as always, your host, T-Sax the God, Thomas Saxby. How's it going, guys? Wolfie, lead us off.
Yo, boys,
As always.
good to be back.
As always.
Episode 15, baseball, not even 2 months away. I just wanted to kind of open with like a take that's going to lead into a question with you guys. I wanted right off the top of your head because it's interesting. We always talk about the teams that don't spend a lot of money, like Pirates, Orioles, Reds, teams like that, A's, Rays. But then this season specifically, I was looking at teams like every team that actually won the division. Braves, Cardinals, Dodgers, Astros, Guardians, Yankees. If you look at it, like most of those, I mean, obviously not all of them won the World Series. One of them did. Braves didn't do anything. We talked about it last week. Cardinals only replaced Yachty with Wilson. That was literally like the only thing they did. They didn't get much better. Dodgers did. They got JD Martinez. Okay, that's not bad. Miguel Rojas. Kershaw basically came back. So they didn't upgrade much. They lost Trey Turner. Astros, Jose Abreu. That's pretty much it. Lost Verlander. Guardians only Bell. And Yankees brought back Judge and got a pitcher they didn't really need. So do you guys think that these teams screwed up this season by not adding more? Like, for example, the Dodgers, where like maybe the Padres could usurp them, Braves, maybe Mets or Phillies could usurp them, or do you think all those teams are going to be fine?
I like that. I mean, with the Braves, I mean, they're a very talented team. I think the Braves, they know they got a talented team. They don't really have to, do too much on that end. And I mean, with the Dodgers, I mean, I think we all agree here. The Dodgers should have done more. But they're the Dodgers. They figure it out at the end of the day. But the NL Central, yeah, I mean, I'll sit here and say it. I don't think the Cardinals are your NL Central winner. I mean, as it stands right now, I mean, I'll sit here and say it. And I don't even know who the winner is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't expect too many good things from this division this year. But I don't know. I'm not buying into the Cardinals too much this year.
Even the Yankees. I mean,
True.
look at what the Blue Jays did.
Rocking with the Blue Jays. Rocking with the Blue
man.
Jays.
I mean, think about what the Yankees. I mean, okay, they brought back Judge. They got Rodon. But look at all right. Say they didn't get Rodon. Sevy, Nestor, Cole. Who am I forgetting in there? Montas.
Montas.
And then say German was their fifth. That's already a good rotation. You still have Donaldson. You still have Hicks. I mean, because the thing is, like, all right, let's say Houston. Houston pretty much won that division. But you look at Braves, Yankees, even Dodgers.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like some of these were like the Braves only won by like a couple of games.
Well, I mean, I could even.
Phillies.
Well, I see what you mean because I could even
see what you're
say
saying.
I feel like the Astros should have done more, in my opinion, as well. I mean,
I agree.
I sat here last week and said I'm not really buying into their rotation too much at the moment.
I feel like they still come in pretty high up in the rotations, but I also feel like they could have done more, like
Yeah,
replace
but that's if
Ace.
McCullers stays healthy, which he hasn't been able to do for the last like what 4 or 5 years now.
McChicken. Come on now.
Yeah, but you know what's scary about the Astros is Javier and Valdez are not even in their prime yet, so like they can still
Yeah,
potentially get better, and like that's
that's for
kind of
sure. But
crazy.
look at their 4 and 5, Luis Garcia and Urquidy.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
I
that's
don't
right.
hate Luis
Urquidy, that's
Garcia.
right.
That's rough.
Give me
They're
some innings.
studs. They're
Don't they have,
And
studs.
then, like I said, if
I don't
McCullers
hate
goes
I don't hate
if
Garcia.
McCullers goes down, those two become 3 and 4, and
I mean, I do see it though because the Rangers upgraded, probably you could argue they had one of the best off seasons, and the Mariners also, made some moves getting Hernandez. So like they all the teams around them, not all the teams, but those two teams around them got better. Um,
Angels.
I think the Angels got better too.
Yeah,
I think yeah, no, I agree.
The Cubs. I think
better.
the Cubs really made
I
a
mean,
big fucking splash
the
this
Angels are a
offseason.
team where
I
everything has
agree.
to go perfect for them, and if everything goes perfect for the Angels, they'll make the playoffs.
I'd love to
It's
see
just
it.
everything has to go
Honestly, I'd
perfect.
love to
That's
see
the
it.
issue.
I'd love to see Trout and fucking Otani in the postseason. That would be fucking great.
And
Just
by the
great.
way, Devontae, you're right too. With the Cubs, they did a big splash. But it's funny because you guys just said that. When you think about it, the two teams that made the wild card last year in the AL, it was the Rays and the Mariners. So really, if you're the Angels, Rangers, White Sox, Toronto made it 6 years of 13. I'm sorry. Or even the Red Sox. I mean, dude, you guys just got to get that third spot. Look what the Phillies did. They were a wild card team. Even the Padres were a wild card team, and they were, right there from the World Series. That's why, like, I know some of these other big. That's why maybe they're thinking like, oh, it's just getting to the playoffs. But like, bro, some of these scrappy wild card teams, like, if they're the ones building up, it doesn't matter about getting to the playoffs. It's what you do in the playoffs.
I
And
mean,
that's why I sat here and preached like when the Phillies were kind of around that danger spot in the playoffs. I kind of preached like, I don't think the Phillies are gonna do damage, but they have that perfect little combo where like if things go the right way, they can go on a run, and then I said the same thing about the Padres too, and that's exactly what happened. I just didn't think that they would beat the Dodgers, the Braves, the Mets, the powerhouses. Because it just didn't seem, it just all seemed like fairy tale bullshit, and then they ran into the Astros.
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
And now they added Trey Turner. See, like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, a wild card team added Trey Turner. Like, the Yankees, okay, you added a pitcher. Like, I mean, bro, like, what about Donaldson and Hicks? Like, some of the moves, like, some of these teams made, it's like, are you trying to get, like we said it last week, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And I feel like some of these teams that were in the second place or in the wild card, they're the ones that got that, and they got better. The teams that won the division kind of just like a little bit here and there.
Yeah,
For sure.
I see. I agree. I
Yeah.
mean, I think also though the Braves, like, do the Braves really need like, do they need to? Who do they need to get? I mean,
I guess Swanson, you know what it is? I guess something like that. And that's the thing. I said not all teams because I guess some rookies are coming up. So they might have gotten, like, what is that, Grisham for Swanson? But, like, some not necessarily them as much, but also, too, the Padres might take the division. The Mets might take them. So I guess it's more about necessarily the division. Or just getting better in general. Because did they get better?
Yeah,
All right,
'cause
let's just say this.
I don't.
Did they get better than because they lost to the Phillies last year, right? with the same exact team. That's kind of more of my point. It's like, did you get better? I guess also they lost Swanson. So
Well,
did you get better?
I
me,
mean,
I mean, the Mets without Correa. I mean, the Mets with Correa. I was gonna sit here and say I think the Mets are maybe the best team in the NL East. Without Correa, now I'm kind of, cause I don't know. Correa added some craziness to your guys' to your
Oh,
guys'
dude.
lineup. That would have been a
Yeah.
little nuts. But the Braves are like the only team that I feel like maybe the Astros, but the Braves were the only team I feel like that didn't have to make moves. The Astros, I feel like they'll be fine regardless, but at the same time, are they still that very for sure World Series team again? I don't think so. But the Dodgers are a team that might get smacked by reality. They lost to the Padres last year in the playoffs. I think people need to understand that the Padres did without Tatis, they played up to their full potential at least up to that point to where they beat the Dodgers. And then this year they're gonna have in the same lineup Tatis,
yep.
Machado, Soto, Bogarts, Cronenworth. The list is gonna like that lineup is gonna be disgusting, and the Dodgers are not gonna have the pitching for it. I'm sorry. I look at
Agreed.
their rotation. Yeah, they're gonna have Urias. He's cool, but Kershaw ain't the same guy. He's injured half the season. And Bueller, is he going to come back the same? Is he even going to come back and be the same Bueller?
Dustin May's gonna be a problem though.
But is he going to come back and be the? He got hurt majorly last year as well.
Yeah.
So
I think also with the Padres, we have to consider that they have trade pieces. Like now that if Tatis comes back and he's who he was before, Ha-Seong Kim is probably gone, and who do they get from that? Do they rebuild prospects to keep Soto there? Do they do that to keep Machado there? Do they get another fucking star? Like, who knows what could happen there? So I agree that they could take the Dodgers down. I think if you continues to get better, then he did pitch a lot better, I would say, in the postseason than I mean, still had one, had a couple rough moments, but he pitched better considerably than before, and they also went further, so that was, experience is probably it's probably going to help them, this year, plus a full year with a full team of, the figuring out who's the best place to be in the lineup and everything. But I think the Braves, what's going to happen with the Braves? They're going to bring up some people. They're going to fucking play really well. They're going to sign them to long deals with low money, and then they're going to call it a wrap. That's my prediction.
Their classic recipe.
those negative 5,000 odds are going to get you paid, Chris.
And you know what it is too, I think, with the Braves, and because you're absolutely right about that, that's exactly what they're gonna do. But you know what it is that when they lost to the Phillies last year, now in my mind, like mentally, I think, oh well, the Phillies just got Trey Turner, and if they beat the Braves last year with Trey Turner and Braves lost Swanson, like, are they gonna beat him again? But at the same time, you're right, like, because they did Grisham last year, Harrison last year, so knowing me, I'm probably fucking wrong. So
I,
like, you're absolutely right.
I'm most interested in the Phillies seeing what they can do this year with Harper out versus what they did last year with Harper out. Can they sustain, or are they better without him this year? Not saying they're better without him in the lineup, but like they were good last year without him. Like not they're arguably anyone can say they were better last year with him, but can they do it
Oh,
again?
and you bring up a good
They're
point.
going to have, they're going to have to.
You know what I
Don't have
completely
to.
forgot
So
about? They started the year with Joe Girardi last year.
Facts.
And
yeah,
remember
that's
when they
true.
got rid of him? They went
That's true.
44 and
No,
22 in their first like 66 games. So, dude, they actually could win the
that's
fucking division next year.
that's automatically probably like 15 games that more they're gonna win this year.
Yeah, yeah,
Automatically,
dude.
like just put it,
Dude, to
just
be
put them
honest, though,
on
the
there.
Phillies might run the NL East.
That sucks.
I think
Yo,
they're gonna come out the
Devontae,
gate hot,
what's on
going
the top of your
crazy.
mind, man? What's on the top of your mind, Devontae?
So to add on to what we were discussing, I think Phillies are gonna start off and go on a fucking hot streak in the first 20 games. But the way they ended, now they have something, to really fight for, have a chip on their shoulder, ball out. Kyle from Wall Time is probably gonna drop like 55 fucking bombs.
I gotta talk to you guys about this. So Back in the 90s, they used to make these train sets, Lionel train sets. You can look them up on eBay. They go for like $500, $600 if you got like more
You get
stuff or
high for
more
this.
money, right? So I was sorting through what I had, and I stumbled upon some of
Take a fat
these
rip.
little figurines. And the figurines, they got all sort of varieties. And I'm gonna read some of these off to you just to give you some context about just how general they are and how vague the names are. So it's station service crew, winter action figures, sitting people, work crew, horse and sleighs, passenger
Horse
figures,
and slaves?
horses and sleighs, like
Oh,
Oh. That's it. But like a castle.
people on sleighs, Santaland, horses, sitting figurines or figures. And then they have this one, number 6062. And these people are called fat people.
Still canceled. Okay.
what a way to start.
Just fat people. But these people, they're not even like, these are nice people. These are just normal, regular people. But in the 90s, that's what they can characterize
Hey, at the
them
top it
as.
says they're model people. They're models.
They are models.
Is that Donald Trump at the top of it?
That's
They
what
do
I
look
thought.
like that, right?
That's what I thought. Very likely.
Oh man, that's crazy. Cause like, if that toy came out today, all hell would break loose.
Here's one of the trains for context.
Bro,
Classic.
you should hit up that company and like take a picture of me. I'm gonna expose you. Be like, give me some money. I'm gonna expose you.
I have a strange feeling you could sell that on eBay for like $2,000.
Yeah. Now I don't know if it's $2,000, but that specific one, it's like the base train set itself is like $400 or $500. But some of them that are like brand new in the box, which is to me it's crazy because they're 30 years old at this point. Brand new in the original plastic, those go for like $1,000 easily. But
Jesus.
I'm gonna just hold on to
I want to
them,
know who's the person paying that money.
I don't
Oh,
know.
that's too much money.
I don't know. Someone has to. I guess. Yo, so last week we talked about the shift. So I wanted to talk about this week the pitch count. Because I think personally the pitch count is going to very negatively affect pitching and offense is going to be at an all-time high this year. And not all-time high by like, just a record year, but a new trend of offenses. Like basically, I'm thinking the average score is probably going to be like at least 10 runs scored. Like that's going to be like the new standard. Maybe not this year coming up, but I think like in a year or two, like 2-3 years, the new average scoring will be increased, and I think it's what baseball wants. Me personally, that's what I think. What do you guys think?
I think a lot of different factors factor into this. Like, if we continue to get more of the juice baseballs like we did from like 17 going forward, I would love to see that happen. And I do see that being a factor for them trying to gain a bigger audience now, especially now that they're moving like more worldwide and whatnot. But I don't know if they're gonna start doing it as close as we possibly think because of just what happened last year with the golden eggs, whatever the fucking golden balls were called, the dead balls. But you want to see baseball go in a better direction, so I can definitely agree with you about that.
For sure. I mean, the way I see it, MLB, it's like, yes, the true baseball fan inside of me, the true baseball guy, like, and I can see why all the older people would hate it. I mean, baseball's got to evolve eventually, and the way baseball's got to evolve is it's going to be through its offense. It's going to be through its hitting. I hate to tell everybody, I hate to break the news, but look at NBA as a basic, example. Would NBA have lasted the test of time if it was just strictly tough-nosed defense, low-scoring games? Probably not. If I'm being straight up honest, that style of basketball was becoming very low rated. The three ball being introduced into the league has breathed or breathed or has given a new life to the NBA. The three ball has. And honestly, that's what offense is going to do for baseball. People are not, and it sucks to say, but people don't tune in. Like the casual person isn't going to tune into baseball and be overly excited about a pitcher's duel. I'm sorry. The only way they're going to be excited is if like the crowd is roaring in the background, and that'll happen during a playoff game. The casual fan is going to be turned on by home runs, hits, just back and forth, taunting from the hitters. It's just not going to happen through pitching. And I ultimately, as much as I hate all of this, I want to see baseball evolve and become the sport that it truly deserves to be. So that's my whole take on all this.
So what you're implying right now is that baseball at its current state is like the WNBA.
No, no, not
That's
at all. No,
that's a
that's
weird
crazy.
comparison. Very weird comparison.
Nah, but basically, like the MLB, it's like it has to evolve, or it's just gonna, start dying out again. And that's what it's doing. That's what we're doing. We're evolving. We're having good offensive seasons, and it's just gonna keep happening because that's what people want to see.
Where do you think the offense? Where do you think all this offense is gonna generally come from? Like, if you had to guess.
Pitching. You're gonna force pitch. Well, depending on the pitcher, you're gonna have some pitchers who have had their years, have the money, and go about this change the same way David Ortiz did with the hitter's clock. That he didn't care about being fined. I think it was like $500 for every time he ran through the clock and whatnot, or stepping out the box. My bad, that's what it was. He stepped out the box. The fine was, I believe, like $500. He didn't give a fuck about it. He would step out the box and then like walk through the back and then come back. Hits a ding dong. So I think you're gonna have pitchers like fucking Verlander, Scherzer, who are gonna be like, fuck the clock, come throw you 99, dot you, strike you out, and then you're gonna have a lot of hitters. I mean, a lot of pitchers, especially newer pitchers who are transitioning from like the minor league to the majors, or have missed because of injury, like Walker and stuff like that, that will make a lot more mistakes trying to keep up with the timing, and instead, with it being bad, the pitches they're gonna throw now bad, it gives the hitters an advantage for them to take what they're doing wrong and making it right. Scoring more, hitting more.
All right.
That's a good point. By the way, did they do this in spring training last year? The pitcher clock?
Yes, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken.
It was in spring training? Okay.
The
I know
minor
you
leagues.
do it in the minors.
It was in the
Yeah.
minor
I
leagues.
was gonna say I thought it was in the minors. I didn't know if it was in majors yet. Okay, because like I was gonna say, first off, I'm surprised they're completely initiating it without doing it just in like a spring training year instead of doing a spring training one year then full next year. But I actually think it's gonna be like a test year, like to where if it doesn't work out, they're gonna get rid of it like ASAP. Um, the one thing actually, like, I do agree with you guys. There's a good potential to see more offense, but there's actually, I think, the opposite. I think the pitchers could get into a rhythm to where they're ready to go, and the batter wants to take that time, and they can't. They have to like go and get ready. So I think maybe it might. I'm not. I don't know if it could go either way, but I think we could see that. Also, I think there could be a gap that could happen. I think there's going to be some pitchers. I actually think Scherzer is going to be a pitcher that's going to be fine with it. I think he's just going to be like ready to go. But there might be some pitchers that can't handle it, and that gap of good to bad pitchers is really going to like open up. But on the opposite end, you might also see some pitchers that like it more, and they get more used to it because it throws off the batters. So a guy that might have had like a 4.5 ERA before might be throwing off batters now because they have to do it quick, and he might have like a 3.8 ERA now. And on the flip side with the offense, maybe because it's going faster and there's not as much time waiting around, maybe some of the batters might not be more as power ready. Maybe they'll hit more for contact, or vice versa. I think it's going to be different. Like Chris said, there's either going to be a lot more offense, or it's going to take like, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird regardless. I don't think it's just going to be like the normal like 3 to 2 games every day. It's going to be strange for like the first few months. And I do agree
I
with
think
you.
it's gonna
I
impact
think people are going to do the thing with the fines, and I also agree with you
Yeah.
100% too. The injury thing is going to be huge, huge. Guys coming back from injury, especially arm injuries, and now they have to throw every 15 seconds. That is going to be huge. Good point.
So
I
basically,
like that.
what you're saying is that Patrick Corbin has a chance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
I like
Imagine
what
some
Wulfs
I
guys.
said
like
about
this.
that.
That's a great chance.
The pitcher with the
What better than
15
a guy from
seconds.
upstate New York?
But I mean, I don't know. While I like your guys' takes, the only reason I'm disagreeing is because there's just going to be so many things bothering the pitcher. It's going to be hard for them to focus. They're going to have to follow a clock. They're only going to be allowed so many throwovers, so they're going to be conscious of how many pitches they're throwing to the pitcher. If there's runners on, I mean that's it's just crazy. All of it's crazy. No
I like
shift.
this. I know how to follow up
So
on you now.
so it's like the hitters that are specialty hitters. They're going to be hitting like 330 plus now, instead of struggling mightily, because they'd be hitting into the shift. Then there's going to be you got the runners running rampant. I don't know. I can't see the pitchers being able to focus through all that.
Yep.
But
So
the ones that win the Cy Young this year, I will be impressed. I'll be very impressed with the ones that do really good. I'm looking forward to it.
So picking up on what Chris asked about the effect of the pitch clock, how do you now then feel about the robotic umpire that they're enforcing into the minor leagues, and sooner or later it's probably gonna hit the majors as well?
Okay, Chris, you were gonna go. It sounded like.
I mean, I don't hate the idea of a robot. I think the robot is useful, especially for are we gonna name drop shitty umps? Because I mean,
Yeah, right
I
now
mean,
one of them retired.
like some of them blow games like to blow games, So
No hitters.
it's pretty bad out there. So I think I feel like as long as they introduce it as a way to check an umpire's work rather than just replace the umpire altogether, because you still need I feel like you still need that human interaction, like because who are they gonna bitch at? You really, you know what I mean? Now maybe if they turn it into like bitching versus and then like a challenge, and they limit how many like challenges, because I don't want to sit there and watch a fucking full game of challenging balls and strikes, but I also like the human error of the ump, because I think that that's what's unique to baseball, that they haven't replaced
Yeah.
it. So I don't ultimately I don't really love the robotic ump to fully take over, but I think like in moderation, where like you can challenge in the ninth inning a ball versus a strike or something like that, like when it
They
really
tried that for
matters.
the first time
Like
at the All-Star game for the minor league team.
I
Jason Dominguez has a famous video from it.
I don't mind that, but I think yeah, I don't want to see. I like human error. I like that part of the baseball with the umps, because also like they gotta eject who you're gonna have an ump eject a player,
Yeah, that's a good point. You know-
Yeah, I mean, I like the human error of the game too. I'm a big fan of it. Um, I just when did the major leagues allow these very old men to umpire these games? That I think that's where my problem starts. Is that you got these really old men calling baseball games, because the amount of reaction time that it takes a hitter to hit a ball is like what 1.7 seconds or something like that. And then for the
What?
umpire, I imagine it's only like a second longer to understand where the pitch is. So why are we trusting these old men to begin with to be able to call that correctly? If we don't like I don't know.
I'll tell you why.
Because I'm gonna start going into a whole
I'll
rant
tell you
about
why.
like old people running things, and that'll get political. But
It's
to
because
wrap it back,
It's
It's
inclusion.
just I don't know. Like get younger people in there. Give that a
You
try.
can't,
I
you
don't.
can't, you can't. It's inclusion. You can't just remove somebody who doesn't want to retire. Like it's like what are they? I
You
mean, they
got
could force them to
you.
retire, but that
All the
then the
MLB
whole
has to
person
do is
resume.
look at build a case with all these old umpires who really can't call shit anymore.
Yeah,
And you're just like, we need to lower the age restriction in the league down to like fucking 45.
yeah. Nah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we do need new. They do need
Because we got pitches coming in at 99 miles per
eye
hour, and we're
test. We
expecting
need to
some
have
60-year-old to just be
an eye
like
test,
accurate with
106.
that.
an eye test.
106 on
They
the
gotta
dot.
they gotta have like a 20/20 vision without without like contacts or glasses or something like that, and they gotta have
Cause
because I feel like
you
as you get
telling
older,
me
your
they could see
vision gets
Jordan Hicks
worse.
throwing a fucking sinker at 105? Hell the fuck
Yeah,
no.
Because
that's true.
it's disrespectful because we're watching like Angel Hernandez, like a pitch is down the middle, and he's like calling it a ball.
Ball.
Yeah.
Like out of
It
this
hits the
world. Like you
ground.
should get fired immediately when that happens.
Agreed. By the way,
Plus all
dude.
these, plus
No, what's up, Chris?
I was gonna say, plus all the like all these pitchers now are throwing a lot more like a lot more like movement on their pitches compared to like before. So like they really got to step it up and get it right. So I agree. I agree with you. Maybe not an age limit, but like some kind of test, like a physical, like whoever the Giants and the Mets, physician is, they should do the physician for the umps.
That's a good point. By the way, Sax, dude, you said before like a guy has like a second and a half to react to a pitch, bro. You're talking point 0.3 seconds to react to a pitch. It's like that fast. From point 0.3 to point 0.2.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
So
like
for an
not even
umpire, it can
it's not
only
even
be
half.
a little bit longer than that.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
True.
dude. He's got
Very
like
true.
basically a half a second. Like
And they have
for
to
like a
watch the
7-year-old.
movement,
Oh yeah.
the movement of the
So
pitch.
it's like what these
And the
umpires are
placement
doing
of
is
the
just,
glove and everything.
Yeah.
bro, the
yeah.
pitch is going by, and then they're just like,
Strike.
no, that's it. Strike.
Yeah.
Some of them fall. Some
They
of
kind
them
of just
falling
look around.
asleep.
They look around, like judge people's reaction, like
Yeah.
The other umpires,
Yeah,
like,
maybe if
yeah.
they're at home and it's a bad pitch, the crowd's like, oh, and then like ball. They're cheering.
But
like,
I- I think it's a good time to ask this question.
Wait.
And listen, I want this from the heart. And Wolfie, I'm going to ask you first. I want this from the heart. I'm going to say it again. I want this from the heart, brother. Give me your honest opinion on baseball.
All right. So
Heart.
my honest opinion is that personally, it is the best sport. It is. Love all of the sports. I know everybody else here is a fan of other sports too, but for me, it's the best sport. The game of baseball is so difficult. I mean, throwing maybe everybody could do, throwing football, but like, dude, to hit a baseball is just so hard, and to be good at it is just incredible. The game's great, the moments are great, but even the off the field stuff. I mean, you guys know you played baseball. The camaraderie is so great. I haven't been in like on a baseball team in like almost a decade, and I still know my coaches like on a personal basis. Like it's something that you take with you too. And I mean, look at us right here. We're literally talking about baseball on a podcast for the last almost half a year. Like baseball is just great all around. Like some people that don't know much about it, they think about it as like a quick like, it's a sport. Like you don't see it like much, but like for like people that know it, it's a lot more than that.
Wow, that was deep.
Jeez.
Yo, Devontae.
Damn. Oh my god. I knew this was gonna happen. State of baseball. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I'm glad it's becoming bigger than it has been before. We still have a lot more to go. Like at the end of the day, soccer is the country sport, the world sport. It's all over. Whatever. But baseball, it's up on the rise. I, however, feel that baseball needs to go back to its old roots of steroids and just letting all these players just go wild and open up the jungle and come on, like, you know how crazy it was The era of steroids is so big. You know, when I was born, it was already like halfway through the fucking peak of what it was. Talk about Barry Bonds. I saw the ending of his career. Alex Rodriguez, my favorite fucking drafted player of all time, of any sport. Beside the point. Fucking what's the third baseman from St. Louis? The big brolic one, juiced up.
Oh, Mark
Who's the
McGuire.
first baseman? Yeah, Mark McGuire.
I was about to say Albert Pujols.
No, Arenado. No, but like, oh my god, I would love for baseball to go back to its juiced ways. Put juice baseballs. Let the players get juiced. Let the fucking fans get juiced and see how crazy and juicy that shit'll get.
That took a turn.
Yeah, it did.
Yo, Chris.
Beautiful sport.
I'm good with juice baseballs, to be honest.
Yeah, like Japan.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, steroid baseball was, yeah, I see exactly what you mean. I mean, but you could kind of see what I mean where I say baseball needs to evolve again, because that alone, steroid baseball saved baseball and brought it to kind of where it was today, and it kind of started falling off before where it is now, in a way.
Of course. That's have had something, because back in the, you're gonna tell me Babe Ruth wasn't juicing, that he was just eating hot dogs, drinking, and beating women?
Bro, that's exactly what he was doing, bro.
Come on.
I don't think Babe Ruth is juicing.
Come on. He was fucking juicing. Because
Bro,
them hot
that's all he
dogs,
had to do.
where he got
bro.
all that strength from? Beating all the fucking women he was with?
He was
bro.
just
Yes.
he was just more athletically gifted without like being athletically gifted looking than the players he was playing with. Like, you know what I mean? He was just like
I think he was just
So-
brolic.
The reason why I don't that's bro.
Like he was probably like a foot
He was super
taller than
brolic.
everybody else. He was probably his arm was probably like half the size of everybody else. Like he was probably like the. You ever know when you play Little League and there's like the kid there that's definitely 14, but he's like no he's 12 and he's cranking home
He
runs.
was eating his
That's probably what
weenies,
that
man.
was. No, like I
Eating
you know what,
his weenies.
I wouldn't be surprised if all of
Like-
them, most of them were
Well,
eating something.
They didn't care
We have
about it
all
back in the
these
day.
specific details about how, he was eating all this food and drinking all
And
this
you don't
beer, like
know.
specific ass details. Back in the day, there was nothing to be ashamed of for doing drugs and shit. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure if he was taking steroids or doing anything crazy, like everybody
It
would
was
know.
like
There would be
smoking a
stories
cigarette
about
back
it.
in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't also think it was maybe like.
Steroids?
Also, they weren't looking at it like that way too. It was probably like the guy was
Yeah.
doctor and was like,
Steroids.
"There you go."
Yeah.
steroids.
Like,
Come on.
yo,
He was
steroids
off the
goes back,
ciggies.
yo, a long ass time, bro. Like, what the fuck? The Coliseum, they had steroids.
Yo, Babe Ruth was off the ciggies. That's crazy.
He had greenies and his weenies.
Oh, Chris, give us your honest opinion on baseball, man.
I mean, what is baseball? Baseball is, as a kid, summertime, no school. You go camping. You wake up. You look at the newspaper. You listen to baseball on the radio as a kid in the 90s. You watch, you stay up late, you watch Arizona beat New York, and then you watch the Red Sox come back and beat New York as an eighth grader. It's baseball. It's the toughest sport, in my opinion, because as the time has gone on, you see more and more crazy pitches, like crazy drop, crazy new stats, new metrics to like judge and put these movements into like some sort of realm of their own, and the pitchers are throwing faster now, and you hit the ball, and you have to hit the ball a certain way, and you have to do all these things, and there's no bitching in baseball. There's no bitching in baseball. Like there's not many players out there, that are in the media bitching and complaining about shit. It's
Besides
just
Garrett Cole.
it's just a classic American game,
That's actually a
and
good
it's
point.
the
Usually
only
I don't see
sport
too
that's
many
played on
problems.
4th of July,
Yeah. No, that's a
America.
great point actually, because usually you always see like some sort of like Aaron Rodgers in the news or Brady in the news or some basketball player in the news. Like I feel like with baseball it's a lot more tame. Like usually guys aren't get like Bauer's like an outlier. I feel like usually we don't get that too much.
What?
There's
We
also
get that a
there's
lot.
Not as major
yeah.
though as like other sports. Not as drama filled in my opinion. I mean we do get some, but not like
Bro, you
basketball.
got fucking Jose Reyes throwing bitches through glass doors.
You got Domingo Herman slapping his whole wife in front of fucking the president of baseball,
Oh yeah, but that's more
and he
like
was wiping
off
under
Yeah.
the
the field
rug.
stuff. That's more off the field stuff. I'm talking about like on the field stuff. Like,
Nah, you right though. You right. I won't kill your vibe. You right.
but you are right about that.
I mean,
There's a
'cause
lot
you
of
don't got
fucking
like.
problems in baseball. Yo, we gotta like people need to go.
Yo,
to some
how was that
Yo.
take? How was that take though?
Oh, wonderful. So
Was
yeah,
No,
that-
it
I
started
mean,
off
I
like the
guess
Sandlot, bro.
I guess I'm last to go here. So, for me, I mean, baseball just means a lot to me because it's almost been like it's like how you like lay your eyes on something, and then like once you lay your eyes on something, that's just it. Like that's kind of what it was. It's like that first series when the Red Sox caught up to the Yankees and they beat the shit out of the Yankees after being down, and that was the first baseball I have ever watched. Was that series right there? And that was a crazy way to get into baseball. And just from there, it was just the video games, the real life, the like just all the talking on social media, the podcasts. Like for me, my favorite part about baseball is that baseball rises with the weather. So like we all live in upstate New York. Well, you guys live in the city, but we all live in New York, so we all actually have seasons. So for us, when the winter goes away, baseball comes back, and then baseball goes away when winter comes back. So it's like, it's beautiful the way it works that way. So it's like when baseball's coming back, it's like you wake up in the morning, that nice crispy spring air, baseball is going to be on today, whether it's spring training or, that first month of the season. And the first month of the season is always exciting, even as a Nationals fan these days, but it is what it is. It's just baseball is baseball. Even when your team sucks, you just love watching baseball. Whereas, like, when the Knicks suck, I just don't like. I have such a disconnect with the Knicks when the Knicks suck, and the Eagles when the Eagles suck. But when the Nationals are bad, I can still sit here and watch baseball. Yep. So, for me, and 2019 meant so much to me because that was the year that my daughter was born, and like that year I was just like so depressed because I'm like, how am I gonna be a dad? What the fuck is going on? What am I gonna do? And that year was just such a transformative year for me. That's the only season I've watched all 162 games, and that happened to be the season that the Nationals actually went all the way, and that was the craziest season I've ever watched. So baseball's the shit, man, and it's like you guys said, it's the hardest fucking sport. You shitting me? So much goes into this shit. I would never fucking dream of being a major leaguer for like 20 years. That shit has to like. No wonder why Albert Pujols was bald at age like 21.
Yo.
That's so true. I tell you what.
But you also got to remember he's older than what we know he is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yo, the way his career tailed off too.
Motherfucker was 48. Crazy.
Wait, what?
You heard it
Bro,
here
you
first.
see the way he was running
No,
around
48.
the bases?
48-year-old. The fuck? Yo.
He was
No.
running around the bases like prime
Somebody's-
Babe Ruth, bro.
Somebody's got leaked documents.
No, I know that's what it sounded like. He's like, yo,
He's got
bro,
medical
Yo,
records.
we know, bro.
Yo,
We
Miguel
know.
Tejada said he used to play baseball with Albert Pujols, and Albert Pujols was older than him at the time as a kid. And look up how old
Nah,
fucking Miguel
stop.
Tejada is.
So what the fuck did Albert Pujols do? Just continuously retry high school and just retry until
No, a
he
lot
was just
of-
a
a lot of
nasty
kids-
baseball player?
A lot of kids in DR had their certificate forged. My father, when he got signed, had had his birth certificate forged from a younger age to be put as an older.
Nah, let's dig into that a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait.
It was big. That's why they broke down on it. And Danny Tavares, the kid from this side of New York City, got caught in the Little League World Series because they forged the birth certificate, made them younger. That was a big epidemic, especially in Dominican Republic. And they cracked down on it within the last 15 years at this point.
So you think Albert Pujols is 48?
Bro, how old is he right now? It's just so funny because I'm like, that
I think they
motherfucker
say he's
old.
42, right? 42?
If he's 42, so then he must have been like
But I can
45,
see it because
46.
it's like he was
Wait.
just so
I
amazing, and
46,
then he
yeah,
was just
definitely.
so broken for so long.
He did have a
When
good
did-
season,
like,
though. He had a good
when-
season.
when-
Definitely.
When did Miguel Tejada retire?
Oh, that nigga retired like 12 years ago, bro. He didn't retire. Baseball retired him. Because of the whole steroid scandal, too.
It's definitely more than that.
Miguel Tejada's probably
How-
still
how
playing in
old-
Taiwan.
How old is he?
I'm going to tell you right now.
We gotta figure this out.
He's at least 3 or 4 years
He's
old.
48 years old! No, he's 50!
No, he's not 40.
I know for...
Bullshit.
Albert
Is he?
Pujols could be 49 years old then.
No.
He could be 49, possibly 50.
I actually have to see it physically in myself. Like, I can't
Bro,
believe it.
the only reason I believe it is because if you look at Albert Pujols and the way he played baseball this year, and it was tough to watch.
He's 43. What are you
He's
talking
really
about?
baseball. He's baseball's grandfather. That's what Major League wants you to think.
You heard Devontae heard that.
You scared me,
Devontae
bro.
knows somebody. Who knows somebody who heard Miguel Tejada say that he played with Pujols when they were kids?
I don't know the person. This came out on the internet not too long ago. So I'm like, he's definitely older than what he is.
Woo, this is the Bill Different podcast.
Former MLB executive says Albert Pujols has been lying about his age. I wonder if it was this one. Coño.
How did the Angels not sue him for like that contract? Like, if you thought you were given like a 31.
Bro, there's articles on the internet that say no one believes Pujols is the age he says he is. Like, this was a big thing within the last 10 years.
I remember
He was still in the Angels.
It was. I think he
was this year.
paid to sweep that all under the rug.
That's what I was gonna say. How did it all go away?
Of course.
No, because I remember it was a big thing, and then it just wasn't.
Miguel Tejada lied about being 17 when he was 19 years old to earn a contract with the Oakland A's. And around those years, when they were younger, they played together. So, if he's fucking 40, oh my god, that's fucking crazy, bro.
So what is like? So online it says he's 43.
Yeah, it says he's 43.
Alana says he's 43.
God damn, man.
We need to get his medical records. The real.
And you know what? They'll be like, "Oh, look how great I just did in my last season." So I can't be 47, but in reality,
What if he came out tomorrow and he's like, you know, it's
12.
been killing me inside. I'm really 50 years old.
I'm an
Like,
old
what?
motherfucker. Sorry, Angels.
And I broke the and I.
Yo, the Angels signed a 40-year-old man to a 10-year contract.
He said he's known Albert Pujols since he was 12 to 13 years old. Goodness gracious.
Yo, he really was the LeBron of our era.
That's wild.
they got
He's
shafted.
baseball's last dinosaur. He's literally baseball's last dinosaur.
Bro, he really forced himself to go this far for what? Like, he really sold
So
us
right off
that
in
he
the
was
sunset.
42, bro. Like, if he's really 50, he really pushed this lie so fucking far to play until he was 50.
Wouldn't
I
you
would say
ride
he's baseball's
that?
greatest player of all time.
Bro, I
You
would
know
have
what's wild? You know what's
Crazy.
wild though? It's wild because I remember we were talking about how we thought Barry Bonds could play until he was 50.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, maybe he could have then. Well,
The
dude,
fucking
He could
fountain.
have. He could have if the Giants allow him to.
oh yeah,
Nah, bro. All those teams got together and said nah.
Yeah, they banned him. They banned
bro.
him.
You know what's crazy to think about though with Pujols, because he actually just had a really good season. Like he could come out in like a few years and be like, "Yo, you know that season I just put up? Yeah, I was 50 when I did that." Bro, he had like almost
Oldest
70
ever
home
do it.
runs.
Fuck Jamie Moyer.
Yeah, like bro, I would ride that. Be like, "Yeah, I actually am 50, and you see what I just did?" Like, dude, he had a great season. We were pulling for him. Remember, he was about to get what was this mark? Did he
But
got
like,
it? Right?
yeah, for me, like, yeah, he had a great
The
season, but at the
600?
same time,
Yeah.
like, again, like, it just the image plays in my head of him running around the bases, and he's just like, it's just bad.
Running?
Dude.
Wait, did you say running?
Exactly.
It was a brisk
I was
jog.
scared. Like, I thought like we were gonna get like an injury
A
on like
fucking
a home
stroke.
run trot.
What
And
about
my
his
thing is,
doubles?
if he's really 50, he really dragged that line that fucking far. Because he could have retired after the Cardinals and just been like. But no, he signed that whole contract with the Angels, like excruciating. Like he was suffering, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
He has been.
picture of this
That's why he's been
line
complaining
never
about
came
his
to
feet
light.
this whole time. His fucking dinosaur feet are done. Like, bro.
Yo,
Bro, he didn't have no plantar fasciitis. He had arthritis.
I think.
He had fucking arthritis on his toes and shit. That's crazy, yo.
that's wild.
Yo.
Bro, he had 14 doubles last year. How did he do that? How did he not pass out?
He had a fucking heart attack sliding into second base.
Yo, is he older than Dave Roberts? No, right?
Nah, he might be, bro. He's older than Craig Counsell. Bro, he had an 895 OPS last year.
Yo, Dave Roberts is 50.
Crazy.
Can he like come to the Mets? Actually, I'll take him over Ruff. 109 games and an 895 OPS. Like, come out of retirement, bro.
Nah, bro.
He hasn't had.
He was like a 19.
He hasn't had a year like that in like 3 years. 5-8 now, 5 years.
Yo, when do you think his last triple was? What year? He hasn't had a triple.
2011.
2014.
14.
14. Yeah. 2014,
But he
he
said
had one. The year before that was 2010. So in the last 12 years, he's had one triple.
That's a prideful man. I would have given up. I would have given up like halfway through that Angels contract. Like, just fuck this. Like, we signed all this talent. We're not winning.
That's a
I'm
lot
like
of fucking
45.
money.
I'm good, bro.
What? That's a lot of fucking money.
He went to the All-Star. He was an All-Star once as an Angel.
Bro, did you see how gassed he was after the first round of the home run derby?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And then he had to do a whole nother fucking round.
Bro, I love to say that is baseball's fucking WWE spot right there. Like, they put him over, like, enjoy John Cena.
Yeah.
Thank you. Your time is up. It's
But I
now.
know he was probably like, after that first round, having to do a second one, he was sweating. He was like profusely sweating too. Like, it wasn't a normal sweat.
You
He
can
was,
see
like,
when he's putting the
dying.
fucking towel on his head, he was like, I'm dying.
Did you guys see the
Stop this!
He had
see
like
the
5 in
videos?
the second round.
the videos of them saying that Schwarber got robbed? That they weren't counting all of his home runs?
Really? I didn't see that.
They like
I believe it.
there's a video.
Did he have like 2 home runs that didn't count?
Probably.
Yeah.
Bro, Pujols, man, that's
The
crazy.
fix. The
But
fix was in.
Some WWE shit, bro. They put him over.
yo, Devontae, why don't you talk to us about some WBC, man? Or some
Oh,
PBC?
man. That's the only... That shit sounds so wrong. Yo, did you say the WBC or the WBBC? Because I heard you say WBBC and I was like, hey, yo, let me not say nothing. No, we can't say the WBC because that shit just sounds, that sounds very ussy.
Nah, but I'm gonna cut it real quick.
That was very ussy of you, bro.
Nah, how do we want to end this? Because I definitely want to grade it every NL team.
I mean,
You
what
could
do
leave it for the
you
next
want to
one.
do the World Baseball Classic and then just go from there?
Nah, I don't necessarily want to do it yet, only because
Okay.
there's only really like 3 teams out of like
I was gonna
16
say I was trying to look up
that the
information
majority of the team.
and I couldn't really find much.
No, I looked it up today, and MLB.com says that they're gonna post it at a further date, and I'm like, that's
Like,
hopeful.
like they have some of like the United States roster, but like it's hard to like get
No, of
information.
course they're gonna have USA. It's the fucking reigning
Yeah.
champs in America. Come on.
But I'm saying like they
Like
don't. You're right.
Trout.
They don't have much other
Yo,
information.
is it true that in the DR what they do is they basically like
DR,
whatever team
like
wins
Republic.
whatever team wins they basically go to the World Baseball Classic.
No, in Dominican Republic we have winter ball, and it is of like 8 teams: Licey, Escogidos, Águilas, Las Estrellas, Los Toros. Yeah, and I forgot the rest from there because those are like the more popular ones. When they're done with their season, they then have the Caribbean season, which is of all the Caribbeans in like fucking Panama, Cuba, Puerto Rico. So of the winter ball that they do, whoever wins then advances to become the team that represents their country in the Caribbean series. So the World Baseball Classics is a whole different thing because it is ideally the same as the All-Star game. You know, you draft the best players from either the country you were born in or your grandparents' roots, and or you can also opt in. Because some, I think, if players, so like Bryce Harper can't play this year and he wanted to play, now then loses his spot because he's hurt, and they find like another backup for that either I believe opted in or they pick at their discretion. But yeah,
So they
Good
just
information.
pick like an all-star team.
they draft their own All-Star team.
Somebody told me. Do you know Jeremiah's Pengua from? He told me that that they like play a big tournament and that whatever team wins that tournament gets to represent the country.
In
That'd
the
be so
Caribbean series, they do, but not for the World Baseball Classics.
that'd be so horrible because you're just eliminating a lot of your talent.
Yeah, that's why I was like, how's that fair when the USA just picks like, they ask like their players to just play,
And it'd be different only because like the series that we do over there, not our best players go to play. So like I think Juan Soto probably played like 5 games, and then but that was just for him to get his reps in, whatever. Cano was always somebody that was there. Manny Ramirez actually started playing more for the country after he retired, and he put up some crazy ass numbers. The dude
But
was
he's
hitting like
still hitting
350 at one
bombs.
point. Bro, he was hitting 350 after like 7 years retired from MLB.
Bro, can he please
Like,
come back to the Yo, I wish a team would just be like, fuck it.
he
and
just signed the
fucking-
contract, and in the contract they said that he supposedly signed like an MLB contract. But I'm not saying he's gonna come back as a player. I only wonder if he signed the contract as like the Players Association, and then the show. That's what I think about MLB, the show, all that bullshit.
I will get the next. I'm not gonna get MLB the show again until he's in the game. I'll say that. I'm done with the game. I'm actually officially done with this game until. And if he's in it next year, then I guess I'm back. Because they did that with Pedro Martinez when I announced I was done.
I want them to bring him, A-Rod, and fucking there's like I think 2 more.
Nah,
years.
I'm only reason I'm got on A-Rod was because of MLB 15, the show or whatever the last one he was in. I got my huge A-Rod fix.
15.
I got a lot out of that. I had every card. I was wilding. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We did this last episode. We ranked every American League team. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna rank every National League team.